Hey there, and welcome to GamePoints episode 111, or 111 if you're a hobbit, I guess. I am, as always, your host, Stephen Brown. Joining me today is...
I'm David Smith.
Tonight, we have actually a lot of information, but nothing really too deep. It's a lot of little... you know what I mean? You'll figure it out as you watch. It's going to be a lot of stuff we talk about briefly.
For once in the last few shows, we actually have a more lighthearted show.
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
We've been on like a hot streak of just horribly depressing topics recently.
Yeah.
Today's only mildly depressing, and other than that, it's all right.
Yeah, we're going to get into some BlizzCon news. We're going to talk about some studio closures, a little bit of just a little bit of microtransactions.
Microtransactions? In this episode?
Yeah, I know. It seems to be like a running theme. 2017 is definitely the year of the loot box, however. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it, and let's talk about possibly the biggest thing that happened over the past week, and that is BlizzCon.
BlizzCon is a thing that happened.
BlizzCon's a thing that happened.
Dude, did you see that crazy-ass diorama they did for all the WoW players that had all the, like, little tiny figures, but it was this huge, like, massive army thing?
Yeah, it was on this... It looked like a giant Warhammer table, almost. My only complaint about it is that they were just all red and blue. Like, I heard about this, and I'm used to Warhammer, right? So I'm used to, like, fully painted armies, not just solid colors. So I look at that, and I kind of went,
Yeah, but on the amount of shit they had, and the fact that supposedly a lot of those figures were actually based on player characters, having to go through and paint all that sounds...
Oh, it would have been impossible.
Yeah. Just for how many figures were on that table.
I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. I'm just saying that at first glance, you like I said, Warhammer player, I'm used to very detailed miniatures. I see that and I kind of go, but when you look at the scale of this goddamn thing, it's truly impressive. BlizzCon's always popular. Kind of impressive that they have a whole convention for roughly 5 IPs.
Yeah.
Always huge musical guests. I think this year was Muse, which would have been one hell of a concert to go see, in my opinion. But in the past, they've had, like, Offspring. I think Metallica was there one year. I'm not positive on that.
Just lots of people show up.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
But they definitely have the money for it.
That's absolutely.
An advantage they have.
And it is pricey to get in there. It's like $120 a ticket, isn't it?
They also give you first dibs on a lot of different, like, Blizzard swag that they sell.
And a lot of exclusive stuff there, and you get all the digital pets and shit.
A lot of exclusive stuff, but you can also buy the digital tickets, which is the funniest thing in the world to me. Like, you can get a digital ticket to the show, which still allows you to buy merch from the booths that are there, or at least somewhat.
I would say...
So, like, you pay $40 for a digital ticket, and you can buy stuff from the store that you can't buy from the normal store.
I think the biggest draw to that is, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong on here, but I think the biggest draw to that would be the fact that you get access to all the digital pets as well. So if they were giving away like an exclusive HearthStone backing, you would get the code to get that same HearthStone backing.
Yeah.
And some of that shit sells for very high. Yeah, so they definitely make a lot of money on that thing, I'd imagine. So we have a bunch of BlizzCon news just scattered around. Like I said, nothing that we're going to get too deep into, but it's a lot of it from BlizzCon. We're talking, the show is going to be very wide, but extremely shallow. So let's go ahead.
That reminds me of somebody.
I have a lot of depth to myself. If you're referring to me, my friend, I have quite a bit of depth.
All right.
So first story right out the gate. Let's go ahead and visit IGN here and talk about StarCraft going free to play. Kind of. Not really.
It's free to play enough.
Yeah. Essentially, starting November 14th, the full Wings of Liberty campaign will be free to everyone. Meanwhile, those who already purchased Wings of Liberty will get Heart of the Storm free of charge. No word on if you already have Heart of the Storm, if you'll be getting Legacy of the Void, which is the third Protoss campaign to that series. Cool. Awesome. This is a great way to get people into StarCraft II, which is apparently still doing decently well, despite the RTS genre being dead, quote-unquote. And for a game that came out in 2010, this really isn't all that surprising. It's a way to kind of breathe life back into a 7-year-old at this point game. Hell, almost 10, or not 10, almost 8.
Well, if there's one thing that Blizzard wants, it's for you to try their games so that you can get hooked on it and you can play. Because one thing that we've talked about, one thing we know, is that Blizzard is kind of the kings of the loot box.
Yeah, they're the ones that... they didn't introduce it, but they sure as
No.
fuck made it popular.
And they've kind of perfected it.
Yeah, everyone
Where
saw
they're-
Overwatch, and
they're-
we need
They're
that.
just not obtrusive enough that everyone kind of gives them a free pass, but people spend shit tons of money unlocking extra things for Blizzard games.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Well, that's part of the fact that all their games are intertwined, too. So, for example, downloading StarCraft will get you fucking portraits for Diablo and a mount for Heroes of the Storm, probably. They have turned everything into one massive...
Well, and then you have
it's all interchangeable.
skins for characters in other games that are based on this game, and,
Yeah.
you know, it's just how they work.
The free-to-play version will provide full access to the ranked ladder and free access to every co-op commander up to level 5. Apparently, those co-op commanders are actually really fun. I have not been able to play one myself because I don't know anyone else who plays StarCraft, and I really only do it for the campaign myself. I am just trash at the multiplayer to that game. Total trash.
That's okay. I'll be playing it come November 14th because I can't turn down a good time that's free.
We might have to look at some of those co-op campaign missions then, because apparently they're really fun.
Yeah. I can grab like an 18-pack and we can see if we can play through it on a stream or something. Challenge mode for you is to continue to carry me.
Yeah, I'm not that good at it. That's just the problem. I could beat the campaign, but that's nothing. You just people go so goddamn fast on that. I can't. I just physically cannot go nearly as fast. If you ever look at, I tried. If you look, you know the actions per minute, the keystrokes that you slam in.
Is your APM hella shit?
Yeah, it's like maybe a quarter of what people can do.
Like normal people or pros?
I just assume everyone that plays that is a pro at this point because they can all kick my ass.
That's fair. That's fair.
What else we got?
Other Blizzard news out this week. A new Overwatch character was announced. That makes what? 3, 4 characters that they added to that game in
I think
3 years.
You have
2
this
years?
one.
You got this one. You got
Doomfist.
Oriza. You've got Doomfist. You've got Anna.
Who is the hacker?
Who is the hacker?
The shaved head hacker.
Zero Cool.
No. God damn, what's her
I'm
name?
looking at a picture of her and I don't remember her damn name.
Sombra?
Sombra is probably it. I don't know. I stopped playing Overwatch a long time ago. Anyway,
Yeah.
Overwatch fans, there's a new character coming out named Moria. She's a DPS healer. She has differing abilities where all of her abilities are kind of multifunctional in that she can deal damage and also heal her team. She seems pretty interesting.
She strikes me as a daughter, right? Like a cross between Mei and Zenyatta. Where at close range she does like at close range she does like a flamethrower-esque either damage or heal, but at medium range you can shoot that ball out, which does a
regen
heal
effect
or
a decay effect.
Yeah.
And then she has a teleport, and then she has a long range beam that heals or damages people.
More importantly, she's a redheaded Scottish chick, and we haven't had one of those animated since Moira McTaggart back in the old X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, she's legit from Dublin, so that's pretty cool.
I'm sure there will be all kinds of origin stories and horrible, heartbreaking CGIs revolving around her sooner or later. I think she might be the person that turned Widowmaker blue, like actually kidnapped her and turned her into Widowmaker.
That's cool.
I could be wrong on that.
Although
I'm
speaking
not positive.
of Heartstring cinematics, the new Reinhardt cinematic also dropped this week. What's it called? Heart of Stone?
I know it's out. I haven't seen it.
Or is that just the name of a song by Audio Slave? I'm sure.
Well, I know Hearts of Stone's a Witcher expansion.
As is true of most Overwatch cinematics, it's mildly depressing and also mildly inspirational. Goes through the history of Reinhardt.
They literally 10-minute Pixar movies.
Yeah,
mildly depressing, mildly inspirational. Looks amazing all the time.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Blizzard just has not went here as a fucking... It doesn't even need to be like 90 minutes or 2 hours, but here's a 60-minute... This is the state of the Overwatch world movie. And
I feel like
put
they
it
might
on
be
Netflix.
building towards it.
Yeah, they might be.
I feel like it's the kind of thing where they're going to release like these little teasers for all the different characters, and then they're going to have like the meetup and then initial whatever the hell they're actually doing now thing as a movie that they could have a theatrical release for, and people would pay tons of money and go see it.
Yeah,
They
that
have the
sounds
fan base
reasonable.
for it. They can pull
Definitely.
it off.
My problem with Overwatch is not that it's a bad game. I actually think it's very fun. It's just like any shooter like that. Now that it's been out for like a year plus, people will spend every moment of their free time playing it, and I just get demolished now.
Well, if you play games besides Overwatch, you're not that great at Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you can be good.
I just get trashed at it.
Because you can just be like a decent shooter player, so you can have like the general skills to be a good shooter, like person in general. But you're not going to be top tier because you haven't been playing the game nonstop since its entire release.
Yeah.
And there are those people that have literally just been playing the game the whole time.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. And they will be enjoying the new Overwatch map, BlizzardWorld. Unfortunately, I don't have a trailer brought up for you because I'll just get copyright striked on it. Or claimed, not striked. There's a difference. Blizzard's usually kind of cool about that.
It's got a bunch of different Blizzard stuff.
Yep, it is a
StarCraft
Blizzard theme park.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hybrid map. Those are you assault the point and then you push the cargo.
It's got a Heroes Arcade. It's got a Hearthstone Tavern. It's got a Lice Vikings wall.
This is literally what they've been building up to over all their games. Here is one giant theme park where everything is there, and they're all starting to get.
What's funny is I feel like this BlizzardWorld map is just a preview of an actual Blizzard World that they're going to open somewhere.
Well, they have the Nintendo Land is opening up in Japan. They're actually building a Mushroom Kingdom, so that makes sense. There's a Mass Effect ride down in the Bay Area.
Their campus in Southern California is big enough that they can probably just buy all the lots next door and throw a theme park in over there.
Yes. Yeah, their campus is big. It's not the biggest I've seen as far as game developers go, but it is big.
Yeah. It's also
but
very swanky.
Yeah, so there is more, of course, BlizzardCon news coming out. There is the new characters, Heroes of the Storm. They're going to have a new event called Dragons of the Nexus. David, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
I can take this away very simply. They're adding Hanzo from Overwatch to the game at some point. Before they do that, they're going to add Alexstrasza, I believe is how you say that, from WoW, who's a girl that turns into a dragon. She actually has, like, I think a hero spotlight out already. There's, of course, another beautifully rendered Blizzard cinematic for their unveiling. Where
they have been known for their cinematics almost since the get-go. Like, I remember back when, like, the first StarCraft came out in 98, 97, 99, somewhere around then. Those cinematics were amazing. But, yeah.
Dude, the opening cinematic to flipping, like, Warcraft 2 or Warcraft 3, whichever one that was, is still, like, one of the greatest.
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
With the orc and the Loredan soldier charging each other, and they just both end up killing each other. Or no, they both beat the shit out of each other, and then Infernal comes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Alex Strauss is a healer, it looks like. Support, definitely.
Who transforms into a dragon. Hanzo is an assassin, just so there can be more Hanzo mains in a different game that make people upset.
I'm not feeling Alex Strauss here. I don't like the idea that she heals by sacrificing her life. That seems really risky. I don't think I like that mechanic. Hanzo, of course, is just going to be Hanzo from Overwatch because they've done a really good job of incorporating how Overwatch characters play in HotS to be damn near exactly like how they play in Overwatch, which I think is cool personally. So you already have an idea of how he's going to play. Still no word on Blackthrone. Very upset. But I have hope. There was an interview that I read that in my haste to get the show up today, I actually forgot to link in here, where someone asked him about the older game. Someone asked someone from Blizzard, I don't remember his name, about the older classic games like Lost Vikings and Blackthrone, and the guy said, we're working on, we're looking at them. We keep thinking about doing something with them. So nothing official, but at least they haven't just blown them off, or that could just be PR speak for, we don't care. But either way, it gives me hope. Hope's dangerous. I don't like it. Other news from BlizzCon, you have the Battle for Azeroth WoW expansion. This is going to raise the cap up to 120, and it's going to be focused on a Alliance Horde conflict breaking out. Much like Pandera sounds like to me, where they kind of focused on the PvP access, the PvP aspect of the game. This is definitely going to have a pirate feel where you can plunder resources, siege warfronts, get a ship, go around, it looks like. Not the direction I thought they were going with this, but it is a good filler campaign till the next big badge. There really is only one big enemy left to fight because the Legion spoilers for Legion. The Legion's going to get dealt with in this patch, which leaves the old gods left. After that, there's nothing else really big out there that they can fight because they've put down Deathwing. Arthas is dead. The Legion's getting dealt with. The only thing left is the old gods. And after that, you've run out of
spoilers for a really old game, dog.
Deal with it.
I don't actually care. It's another one of those things that's going to drag a bunch of people that said they're never going to play the game again out of the woodwork to reactivate and get back in and play. Back up to the cap, grind for a little while, realize why they stopped playing, and wait for the next patch.
So,
or they get sucked back in and they stay there, which I've known people to do as well.
Yeah, Legion was legitimately good. I liked Legion a lot. I reactivated my account, played it for about 6 to 9 months, did all the content, just recently turned my account off, so I don't even know if the final wing of the last place has been opened up yet or not. I don't want to say I'm excited for this, but I'll probably do the same when Battle for Azeroth comes out, reactivate my account, play for a couple months, and then turn it back off again. I'm not looking forward...
It's like almost like a guaranteed tactic. Like, hey, there's a new expansion. You guys are going to turn your accounts back on. You're going to play for a little while. Everyone's going to start talking about WoW again. Yeah.
I'm really worried I'm going to have to kill Jaina in this expansion. I know that name means nothing to you, but she's been with the franchise since Warcraft 3.
I know exactly who Jaina is. Jaina's in Heroes of the Storm.
She is. She's gone through some shit. She's in that cinematic
where she's super evil.
Yeah, she's gone through some shit, and she's right. She's like, no, her arc starts off like this. We shouldn't kill the Horde because they're good people. Then the Horde do her dirty and wipe out everyone that she knows. So she's like, fuck this. This is horrible. I'm done dealing with the Horde now. The people that she's with go, no, let the Horde back in. She's like, this is dumb, but okay. They do her dirty again. And she goes, I told you all, I'm peacing out. Now no one knows where she's at. And I get a distinct feeling that we're going to have to kill her in this. And I don't want to do that because she deserves a better fate than that.
Well, who knows? If you don't want to learn that, though, the other option coming out is they're turning back on some classic WoW servers.
Yep. Old vanilla WoW is coming back.
Really funny. Because now you know exactly why they were shutting down those guys that were running those classic WoW servers.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to do it.
They were making their own one. Classic WoW servers are coming back. It's supposed to be vanilla WoW all over again. I don't know up to what patch. Nor do I know if they're going to...
I mean, good as it did in 2006 or whenever the hell that game came out.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
It's been a while. I don't know how long exactly off the top of my head. But here's the thing. This is a cool idea, right? I mean, classic servers, back when they had fucking 40-man raids that no one could ever do because no one ever had 40 people to go up, or Alterac Valley matches that literally lasted 48 hours. There were PvP matches in this game that literally lasted 48 hours. Think about that.
No, thank you.
It's a cool idea, but man, nostalgia is one hell of a drug, and no one really... I don't want to say no one, but a lot of people who think they like this don't like this. I was around for Classic. I played when Dire Maul first opened up back in Vanilla WoW. That's when I first got into WoW. You think you want this, but you don't. I assure you. They have made so many quality of life improvements.
There are some people that do want it.
There will be a small faction of the people who actually say they want this, that legitimately want this. But I think a lot of people have rose-colored glasses on about how good Classic WoW was, because it really wasn't. It was fine. It was definitely revolutionary for an MMO back when it first came out.
2004.
Shit, that game is almost 14 years old.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of jank with Classic. There's a lot of jank with Classic WoW. A lot of jank. There's a lot of bad ideas in Classic WoW. Things like weapon skill leveling. Like I said, it's a cool idea, but I'll be very interested. It works enough
to make one of the most popular games of all time.
Yes.
So people are going to play it.
We can look. It's like we can look back at Final Fantasy VII and say that controls like ass.
Well, I'm just saying there was obviously a demand for it. There was guys that were keeping these old servers up or had these old servers that they did have not a ton of players. They had an amount of players. Some people want it. The fact that they're doing this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
even
I
if
don't
it's
want to take
8
that away.
people that want to do it, cool. Thanks, guys. Those 8 dudes are totally stoked.
I don't want to take that away. The idea is cool. What I am criticizing is all these people who are saying,
game.
"Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. This is what we've been wanting," and I assure you, it's not. I
Man,
really
you don't
want
have
to
to
see.
retroactively review a 13-year-old game when the whole internet's going to do that as soon as these servers turn back on.
Yeah, I want to see how quickly the numbers to those servers fall off. I'm willing to bet within
quicker
the
or
first
slower than No Man's Sky.
Slower, because No Man's Sky is not going to pull in it slower than that. I'm willing to bet though.
If this has the exact same number of people jump on it as people jumped on No Man's Sky when it first came out, how quickly do they trickle away?
I'm going to say within 3 weeks. I'm going to say within 3 weeks of this game launching, the servers will be down 80% of what they launched at. So if they launch and 1 million people
still have the time of their lives.
What was that?
Then you have 120 people still having the time of their lives.
Yeah, that's fine. Once again, I'm not saying that the idea isn't cool. I'm not saying that there aren't people that want this. What I'm saying is that the majority of people who are saying they want this don't want this. I am fine with Blizzard putting this out. I am not criticizing Blizzard for this one. I am criticizing the people who are saying this is the best thing ever, because most of them have forgotten how janky the original World of Warcraft was.
I don't know anyone that says it's the best thing ever. I think people are just excited to go back and explore the game that influenced and became the game they love now.
Their excitement is misplaced.
Whatever.
What I think this is going to do is I think people are going to get a hold of this and they're going to stop bitching about how WoW isn't like the good old days anymore. Because they're going to realize the good old days weren't as good as they remember.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you finally get what I'm getting at now?
Yeah, but I'm sick of talking about it.
All right, and the final bit of major news from BlizzCon, there's a bunch of smaller stories, but I only want to touch on the big ones here, is that HearthStone's getting into expansion. We all saw that coming.
Surprise!
Kobolds and Catacombs. Cool. I actually like their story expansions, like the One Night at Kazakhstan, and there was some golden monkey like one. I can't remember off the top of my head. I like their story expansions. I think this is just a card expansion, though. I'm not positive on that.
I don't know. I stopped playing that game a long time ago.
Yeah. Anyways, that wraps up the major stories out of BlizzCon. There is, of course, a lot more information out there if you wish to search it up. We could spend probably 3 hours just talking about every single thing about BlizzCon. For example, who won the tournaments, what new fucking plushie they're announcing, all the marketing shit.
Luckily for us, we are not a Blizzard podcast. We're a game podcast where we talk about news. So let's talk about some news that's not Blizzard related. And this is directly related to a decision recently made by Perfect World Entertainment.
Yeah.
Those guys that own Runic Games. And
the next few stories are all connected, actually.
Yeah. And they have decided to shut down Runic Games, the Seattle-based studio that made Torchlight, Torchlight 2, Hob. Some very, very damn good games.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's dead. They've shut it down. They're done with it. Sorry, guys. Perfect World Entertainment has decided to move more and more towards games as a service. That's their jam. That's what they do. They put out all kinds of different MMOs. I mean, you can go there and they all kinds of different free games. Torchlight 2 is still one of my favorite like action RPG style games. I love that game. I love the hardcore mode. And it's kind of a bummer to see these guys leaving.
It is.
In their blog post, they mention, hey, our focus is on our family. We want to help them find a new place to call home. If you're in games and looking for some of the best talent in the industry, please email us. And then they mentioned, for those that love the Torchlight series, there will be some news coming. Still, our fans or community multiplayer services will keep running even after the studio's lights go off. So you can still play their games. They started as a team of 17 guys, and they're all gone.
They're donezo. It's a shame. I really liked Torchlight 1 and 2. I never played Hob, but it comes highly recommended from few people that I know who did play it. And the fact that it's a few people that I know is probably one of the reasons why they're getting shut down. And this ties into the next story, dealing with massive layoffs at the gigantic dev Motiga. This is via Kotaku. What was that? Motiga.
No N.
Not, yeah, no N. Motiga.
There you go.
You know, I want to call it Monsanto. I think that's why I see that. I think that's why
fair.
I want to pronounce it that
But
way.
again, also owned by Perfect World.
Yes.
We're going in a kind of different direction. Gigantic, unfortunately, has been in beta for 3+ years now. I originally played that game at a PAX 3 years ago. I thought it was amazing. I was so excited for it, and it just hasn't come out. I mean, I know it's on Steam now, and it's more accessible, but for me, by the time this game was available to me and accessible and I could play it, I'd completely forgotten about it.
It's
which
important.
Is a bummer because it was super fun.
It's important to note that this game is not shut down. They just had layoffs. This isn't like...
That's true. This game will continue.
Yeah.
Just most of the team in Seattle that built this game is gone. There's a skeleton crew remaining that's going to keep working on it, but...
Yeah. Runic was also based in Seattle, by the way. They just kind of shut down any operations they had in Seattle, it sounds like. They did fire off this...
World in Korea, anyway?
I don't know. I think they are. I know that they specialized in Asian MMOs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the only reason
their
why
big bread and butter.
I could be completely wrong, but...
in this statement here that they sent to Kotaku, which I have brought up right now, it goes on talking about how they've shut down Runic, they're reducing the staff. But the big takeaway here is, David, is this line right here that says, quote, Perfect World Entertainment stands committed to delivering the best, massively multiplayer online gameplay experiences to our players. Now, where have we heard a sentence like that before?
Oof.
That would be roughly what a EA executive Patrick Sonerlund said in that blog post when he shut down Visceral Studios. I can't quite remember what it says word for word, but he was talking about market focus, market research and market forces are dictating that we move to expansive multiplayer options. They want the microtransaction loot-based economy, and those are really hard to do in single-player games.
Yeah. And they want the big money.
They want the big money that's given to them by 1% of the audience. But that's another...
That's where the industry's going.
That is
as long as that 1% of people that spend all their damn money on whatever game they happen to fancy still exists, this is what we get to live with.
That said, I know we've been like talking about the doom and gloom of the single-player game and how it seems to be over, but someone made a really good point to me a couple days ago. This year we saw Resident Evil 7, Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Wolfenstein 2, The Evil Within 2, Mario Odyssey, fucking Metroid, an actual Metroid game on 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Nier Automata. Did Neo come out this year?
I think so.
We still have a shit ton of single-player games coming out. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an honest-to-God single-player JRPG coming out by the end of the year.
And these are actually AAA games.
Was dead. Yes, all of these are AAA games.
I mean, Prey didn't do well, but Prey came out. Assassin's Creed Origins.
Prey was last year. I'm trying to stick to... or did Prey come out this year?
Prey came out early this year.
God damn, did Prey come out early this year? Wow.
Yes, it did.
That's a great game. Play that. Play Prey.
Even though it has a multiplayer component, Shadow War, if you didn't mention that. The South Park games.
Yeah, there has been a lot of single-player experiences. So perhaps our...
Last of Us is a thing that exists.
Yeah. Perhaps us saying the single-player experience is on its way out isn't necessarily true.
Now, third-party developers spending all their damn money for a only single-player linear campaign experience, maybe that is falling away. Not
maybe.
Yeah.
But hey, Divinity 2, baby.
Yeah, oh my god, Divinity 2 is such a good game.
Admittedly, you could play it completely multiplayer, but you can also... It's not a...
Dude, there's a level 1 perk called Lone Wolf that just makes your character better. Don't play with friends. Play by yourself.
It's not that style of multiplayer that people are trying to cash in on. And I don't think there's a single loot box in that game. Anyways, while on the topic of market trends and things changing, David, why don't you go ahead and lead us off on our next story here?
Now, this one makes me really sad.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's not a studio closure.
Correct.
Housemarque, who I still like to call House Marquee, even though I know that's not how you pronounce it. The guys that made Super Stardust, Resogun, Dead Nation, Nex Machina, which is a flippin' fantastic game that has pedigree, considering it was helped created by the guy that made fucking Smash TV, have announced in a blog post that arcade is dead.
Yeah,
now what they mean by
tragic.
this, for the last 20 years, they've been carrying the torch for arcade games, bringing arcade coin-op inspired games to the market with a housemarque twist, and it's fair to say they've gotten pretty damn good at it. Now, a lot of their games are really flippin' fun. They're very classic feeling, just the way they're built.
They are very reminiscent of the 80s coin-op games, like Galaga, Defender, Robotron, Smash TV.
They partner with Eugene Jarvis to make Nex Machina. I mean, he made Defender, he made Smash TV, he made some damn good games. Now, the problem is that even though their games get tons of accolades and win awards and they have critical success, like, people think that they're amazing, the sales numbers don't really back it up.
For the longest time, Resogun was the best PS4 game out there.
Yeah, but they just don't sell well.
No.
Their games have reached a really large audience because their games have been featured as free games for PS Plus and Xbox Live Arcade and all that other fun stuff. So a lot of people have played them. Not a ton of people have paid for them. And that's just unfortunate. They've been doing what they love for a long time. I love every game that I've touched from them, honestly. But they've announced they're not closing. They're not shutting down, but they're going to move on to new genres. They're going to stop pushing arcade games. They're going to start making just complete different experiences for the player. They're going to leave the arcade genre alone. They're going to move towards probably more multiplayer experiences with like strong communities, try and build more, I'm assuming, a game as a service, because that is where everything's going.
In fact, they even straight up say that from the blog post itself. It says, quote, "Lackluster sales of Nex Machina have led us to thinking that the time to bring our long-standing commitment to the arcade genre is at an end. While this genre will always hold a special place in our hearts, the industry is moving forward toward multiplayer experience with strong, robust communities." That's a line we keep hearing over and over and over and over again, isn't it?
Yep. They also say, looking ahead to our next projects, we are exploring something totally different than what you might expect of us, but we believe this will lead to the creation of even more engaging gaming experiences. Our core values remain the same: gameplay first with first-class execution. We're really excited about our new projects and look forward to unveiling our first game from the new era of HouseMarque. It was like really kind of like a bittersweet thing for me because I'm so excited that they're still here in a time of studios just closing left and right. I love the things they touch. Like I mentioned, I'm probably going to play whatever they come out with next. It's just kind of a bummer. It's not going to be this super rad arcade game. And then they end the blog post by posting a video to the Let Me Save You song from the Nex Machina soundtrack, which is just 80s-tastic, like synthwave style music with vocals. I'm very entertained by it, but yeah, that's how he ends the blog post.
For the longest time, I was actually quite surprised that Sony never gobbled up HouseMarque. Like, that they seemed like a perfect fit for Sony. Like, I'm just shocked they didn't swoop down there and grab them.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess this is why, right?
With, like, Stardust and all those other games.
I guess this is why, though. Because while they make fantastic games and while they have a very close partnership with Sony, their games don't make much money. They probably make just enough to keep the studio afloat. Because they're not closing, they're not laying people off, but they do probably are like, okay, we actually need to make something that sells because I'm getting tired of just barely breaking even. I assume that is the mentality.
They're probably working like crazy, and then they just kind of move on to the next project and continue working like crazy.
It's treading water, which is probably why Sony never gobbled them up. But yeah, glad to know that they're still sticking around. But sad to see that really kind of game going.
To whatever they make next.
Absolutely, I am very much.
Who knows what it's gonna be? It could go a completely opposite direction. It could be hell. They could make the linear, single-player, first-person RPG that you want. Who knows?
First-person RPG.
Yeah.
So a linear.
Well,
Skyrim?
No one else is doing it anytime soon.
So. Okay. Yeah. I wish them luck in what they're doing. I hope it comes out to be good. Rounding out today's news is that bit of microtransaction talk I warned you about at the beginning of the show. And we're going to talk about how EA has listened to what people were bitching about their Star Card loot box system and made changes in there saying, oh, all the magazines and online preds are saying, oh, Battlefront's not pay to win anymore. Yay. It still kind of is.
It's better. Well,
Yeah.
it's not better yet, but they are working on making it slightly better, considering that that game was a guaranteed never buy for me.
So
Now it's just a probably not gonna
Yeah.
buy.
there are two takeaways I want to I want to get into this. And the first one deals with the game. The second one deals with the gaming press around this one. On a blog post up on their EA blog titled "How We've Updated Crates and Progression," quote, "We've listened to your feedback." We're going to go through all of these down here and skip the marketing BS. 4 big points they make in this article. First, epic star cards, the highest tier of star cards available at launch, have been removed from crates. Now, if you remember, this was one of the big bugaboos about the way crates were being handled, because essentially these epic star cards gave...
You could spend money to give these outrageously good perks
Yeah,
to you that
like
will
I'm just
legitimately make you better than
invincible
everyone else.
for a certain amount of time, blasting people and stuff like that. And so if you had a lot of disposable income, you could buy a bunch of crates in hopes to get the legendaries, and then immediately you're instantly stronger than other people on there. And I do mean stronger in some cases, because if I recall, some of these star cards are just straight up extra 10% damage. That's not insignificant. That is major. So those are removed. Okay, cool. Point 2. You'll need to reach a certain rank to craft upgraded star cards. Notice you still have to craft them, so it sounds like the pay-to-win limits are still there, just delayed a little bit. So you have to play the game a little bit, and once you hit 60, then the grind actually begins.
Oh, fun.
Or rather, they make you grind first, and then you can pay to win. So let's say I am a poor simple boy who just wants to play my Battlefront 2. And you are rich Johnny City Slicker who's got a shit ton of money, and we both hit 60 at the same time. Well, I don't have the extra income to spend on loot boxes to get the materials needed to craft the star cards, but you take Daddy's Titanium Platinum Visa and swipe it, and then suddenly you have 1,000 boxes, and then you can craft all the loot cards out there. Right? That stands to reason based on what they're saying here, correct?
Johnny City Slicker?
Hey, I had to make up some names, man.
Really? Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, as awkwardly as you said it. But yes, while they've managed to delay the inevitable, there are still going to be people that can just pay money to buy the damn boxes. You can't buy a bunch of crates, grind everything into crafting materials, and then immediately use them to get the super powerful star cards. You have to play the game to rank 60, and then you can do exactly that.
Yes. So they've just delayed the pay-to-win function, it sounds like.
Yeah, so it turns out, instead of being pay to win the whole time, it's actually only pay to win during the end game.
Yeah.
Which is better?
I guess. I don't know. Point 3. Weapons are locked behind specific milestones. While a select few will be found in crates, the rest can only be obtained by play. Congratulations, most of the weapons are obtained by play. A select few still means that some could be found in crates. And how much do you want to bet?
It's all the best guns.
They're all the best ones.
Every best gun is in a crate.
No word on that yet.
100%.
We don't know for certain, to be fair, but I'm willing to bet that's the case. We'll see how that shakes out when the game comes out. Finally, point 4. Class-specific gear and items can be unlocked by playing as them. As you progress through your favorite class, you'll hit milestones granting you class-specific crates. This will include a mix of star cards.
Stop right there. Stop right there. So, you are not going to follow a natural progression system where you play through your favorite class, and at level 10 you unlock this gun. At level 15 you unlock this kind of grenade. At level 20 you unlock this ability. No, that doesn't work at all. As you play through as a class, you will unlock a class crate, which will give you, again, completely random bullshit. So you could get the absolute best 100% kill everybody class weapon that you desperately need, or you could get some shitty star cards that do nothing for you.
Still pay to win.
Because it says it includes a mix of star cards and crafting parts. It's
more random now, but it's still pay to win. The person who has the most money to sink to the game is going to get the noticeably better shit first and dominate.
It's really upsetting that the idea of loot crates has completely replaced the actual satisfying progression system found in other video games. A lot of games you play so that you can get that extra little bit so that you can unlock that thing you need, right? so you
Right.
can get the next levels, you can get that next ability, you can get that next weapon, whatever it is. That is one of the things that keeps you in the game. They're just removing that entire feeling from you and instead giving you a fucking random slot machine to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that there's an achievement for watching like 3 people open fucking crates.
In Call of Duty World War II. That's in Call of Duty World War II.
Like, okay, I'm still going to throw it in there because it's loot box related. God damn it, guys. Just, do you remember when video games were about actual progression and earning things and feeling senses of achievement when you unlock something?
So I think we're still both in agreement that if it's just purely cosmetic, for example, if it's a Rey skin of
if
her
it does
in a fighter pilot,
nothing for you, if it makes your TIE fighter blue,
yeah, I think we're fine with that, right?
I don't give a shit.
I know some people are like, any of these at all is cancer because it leads to shit like this. And you know what? It's hard to disagree with them because we're seeing shit like this now.
Yeah. Now, if the difference is you have a loot box that makes your TIE fighter blue, and there's another loot box that makes it so you have missiles when normally they don't, then yeah, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah. I don't instinctively hate the concept of a loot box. I think Overwatch, I think Blizzard in general fucking nails it. It's all cosmetic. It's all voice lines. And yes, some people will still say you're preying on gambling addictions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think ultimately that is relatively harmless. But
I'm going to mildly disagree and still hold fast to the idea that I hate loot boxes in full price games.
Yep, that's another facet. There might be facets here. Loot boxes
do not need to be in a full price fucking $60/$80/$100 for the whole goddamn experience.
That's a different level of conversation that we can have there.
Progression system that lets me feel accomplished because I paid for this fucking game. I don't want to sit here and look at a spinning wheel. I understand it when it's a free game on my phone. I understand when it's a free-to-play game. It makes sense. You need to make your money somewhere. But if I pay $60 or $80 for your goddamn game, no, I don't want to see a spinning wheel and some sparkles and get some shit I don't want.
Yeah, no, I understand. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, for the longest time, I was like, if it's cosmetic, I don't care. If it's cosmetic, I don't care. If it's cosmetic, I don't care. But there have been a segment of people saying, no, this is the fucking giving the mouse the cookie and he's going to start demanding a glass of milk. Right here, what we're seeing is they're giving an inch and they're taking a fucking mile with this pay-to-win bullshit.
And then they came for you, and there's no one to speak for you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to have to take the hardline stance of no fucking loot boxes ever or anything like this, because once again, I'm fine with it in theory if it's cosmetic. But the slippery slope is real here, folks. It's getting fucking ridiculous.
And I don't think we've hit the wall yet.
No. And
that's the problem. This is going to keep getting worse.
This is going to spiral out of control because they can't fucking restrain themselves. And the absolute worst thing is going to happen because of it. And that's not that AAA industry dies or only 1% of players still play the games and the whales. No, the absolute fucking worst thing that can happen is Uncle Sam steps in and regulates it.
Yep.
Because then shit's just gone all to hell.
And we're all fucked. Anyway, let's talk about some games that you can play this week.
Yeah, that's a bleak future. So what can we pick up this week to prepare us for this horrible, horrible nightmare that awaits us, David?
To get yourself ready for the upcoming loot box apocalypse, you can instead play some fine games, including one releasing for Xbox, Switch, PC, and PS4, and that's the new damn Sonic game called Sonic Forces, which some say is pretty good. Others say is just as bad as other Sonic games. I say make your own damn decisions and don't listen to everybody else. But
yeah.
It is a
turn
new
this
Sonic
off right now. Go take a look at it.
Sonic team published by Sega, where you play as Sonic. You're part of the resistance against Dr. Eggman. He's taking over
hold on. Did they actually use the term resistance?
They use the term resistance, yes.
Okay. All right.
Now, gameplay is slightly similar to Sonic Generations, with the player controlling both a classic and modern versions of Sonic. So the classic version, plays as like a 2.5D side-scrolling Sonic game, like old school Sega Genesis style Sonic. The latter is like actually a 3-dimensional game like Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, a more modern Sonic game. So you actually bounce back and forth between these two versions of Sonic. It's not the newest concept in the world. Other games have jumped between like the newer 3D version and the 2D version. I go well,
they're
Mario
kind of
Odyssey,
flirting with
something like
Sega with Sonic CD here, where you're going back and forth different time periods.
But I think it's cool. It also adds a third gameplay mode featuring the Avatar, who's actually a player custom character. That's right. All those fucking Googleable
Sonic fandom OCs, baby.
Sonic fandom OCs are now featurable in a Sonic game.
That's what's going to sell this game. I guarantee you that's what's going to sell this game.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to buy this game just because you can type so-and-so the hedgehog into Google and you will get some motherfucker. That guy that made that picture is putting it in this damn game and running around like the speed of sound.
There is a really, really weird fan base for Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, I don't get it. I absolutely do not get it.
I'm not mad about it. You guys live your dreams.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it. It's just unusual.
Own echidna, and we'll be fine.
They're like Mormons to me. I look at them and I go, I don't get it. You seem like nice people, though.
You seem like nice people. That's not for me. You continue to enjoy that. I'll be over here doing some other stuff. But yeah, new Sonic game coming out. Again, reports are kind of up and down the board. Maybe watch a Let's Play, watch your favorite streamer player, or just pick it up, see what happens. Who knows? I'm not your boss. Also coming out this week, something I'm far more excited for than a new Sonic game, Neo Complete Edition for PS4, which includes all the DLC, but also for PC. So
Neo's an amazing
PC
game.
Kids that have been waiting for Neo this whole time because they didn't have a PS4, guess what? Now you can play it. Yep. This is the, oh man, I'm going to do that thing that you do all the time that pisses me off. This is the Dark Souls of Samurai games.
The only time I say that is usually in jests. However, I think when I wrote the review to this, I did use the subheader Samurai Souls.
Yes. But of the games that you can make the comparison of, this one probably deserves it the most. It is made by the Team Ninja crew, so it's hard as fuck. It does involve pattern recognition, learning how to fight bosses. You play as a samurai. Things kill you pretty easily. Learn to play, get good, scrub. Get your Neo on this week. Also coming out for...
Sorry, if people are watching, the look on my face is me getting some news that I'm debating if I should share on stream or if it's something that I actually can't. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and say, no, I can't. Sorry. So if you were wondering why I was looking buzzard... If you're watching this and like trying to struggle with what to say, that's why.
Absolute vague as possible 2-word hint that something we may feature on next week's episode. 2 words.
I don't even know if it's a news story though either. That's the only problem. Deals with the Switch.
Switch related. All right, also coming out this week, Hand of Fate 2 for PS4 and PC. This is a deck building game. If you don't have enough Hearthstone in your life, you don't have enough Magic the Gathering online, you absolutely positively need to play more card games on your PS4 or PC. You can pick up Hand of Fate 2.
It's more than that, though. Hand of Fate is way more than just a card game, though. Hand of Fate.
Yeah, I didn't actually play Hand of Fate. I looked at it a little bit, but I didn't get super like in depth into.
It's like yes, you are playing cards, but there's this action system involved with it as well. And apparently, Hand of Fate 2 is kind of cribbing the Arkham battle system to it.
No, really? No way.
So it's like as you explore, you play cards, and those cards are going to be what you're fighting. And then it cuts to the actual battle system itself, and it's like real. And then it's like an actual action game.
Okay, the big thing I was reading is just like how important the deck building features are. And
yeah,
like
the deck building is super important in the first one. How vital
it is to make sure that your deck doesn't suck, so that the game is playable. So I just took it as a
same with the first one.
Yeah. Doom releases this week on Switch, which a lot of people didn't think was possible. I don't think it's going to run the absolute best.
I want to take a look at it because Doom is surprisingly well optimized.
And I believe it. But yeah, if you haven't played Doom yet, and it's a damn good game, and you have
Doom
a Switch,
is amazing.
You need to play it. More importantly, if you need to play it in the airport or on a plane next to a small child, that is now an option for you.
Just angle it a little bit toward him.
Yeah.
Let him see you rip a heart out of a demon and then shove it down its mouth.
Rip and cut, my friend.
Rip and tear, son.
Rip and tear.
Jackass.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking Children of Bodom. So.
You're a goddamn jackass. Come on.
Okay, fine. Super Lucky's Tale comes out this week for PC and Xbox One. Didn't Super Lucky's Tale already fucking come out?
Keep going. I'll research this. Keep going.
I swear to God, I talked about this game like
I think that sounds familiar.
I could be totally wrong. Who knows? But it's an indie 3D platformer game developed by Playful, published by Microsoft Studios. It's the sequel to Lucky's Tale. It's a 3D action platformer. It plays like a lot of other 3D action platformers.
According to the Wikipedia page for Super Lucky's Tale, which we know is never wrong, Wikipedia is 100% right all the time. It just says worldwide release November 7th.
Okay, cool. Well, it comes out this week. It's only $30, and get this, far more important, it is an Xbox One console exclusive.
I'm also told it's ass.
No, dude, it's an exclusive. You can play it in 4K with your Xbox One X.
Yeah, well, Brute Force was an exclusive as well.
Xbox One X potential buyers, this is your fucking exclusive.
Knack is also an exclusive, but you are right in there. Yeah, I see where you're getting with this now, because I forgot that the Xbox One X or the Xbox One does not actually have any exclusives. Well, it does. I don't want to start a fucking fanboy war. Yes, it does, but name me one that's come out in the past year that's actually a big budget.
Well, I mean, there's the fact that the Xbox One X also comes out tomorrow. I was going to save that for the end of the list, but, I'm going to drop it right now. Because of the fact that Super Lucky's Tale is the
launch title
exclusive that you can pick up as the launch title for the Xbox One X. What the fuck are you guys doing, Microsoft?
Oh, I want to like Microsoft. I want to.
I'm sorry. Name a worse fucking launch title. I'm sorry, there's probably plenty. But most of the systems that come out with a launch title worse than this fucking choice have more than one launch title.
So here's the thing. Are we comparing this as a brand new console, or are we comparing this to PlayStation Pro? Because the PlayStation Pro really didn't have a launch title either.
It's true, it did not. But
Microsoft seems to be selling this as a new system. Also, PlayStation doesn't have the first-party game problem that Microsoft has.
Yeah, well, when the PS4 Pro came out, it had way the fuck more shit to play than this does. Way more. And it also had a army of things coming out for it soon. Quick. Besides Crackdown, name an upcoming game that will run on the Xbox One X that's going to run way better than anything else you can play it on.
Are we doing console exclusive? Like, if it's out for PC, it doesn't matter? Like State of Decay 2? State of Decay 2 is an Xbox exclusive. That actually looks kind of cool.
Alright, whatever, fuck it.
There's also that Sea of Thieves game. I think that might be Xbox One only as well.
Okay,
and
actually,
PC.
Sea of Thieves does look really damn cool.
Is Sea of Thieves Xbox only? Or in PC, but we're counting consoles only at this point? Keep going with the list, and I'll look that up too.
Cool. All right. Also coming out this week, the Hitman Game of the Year edition for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. If you recall, Hitman recently went episodic. All those episodes have now dropped, and you can play the full game, finally, Game of the Year edition coming out this week. Those games were actually pretty damn cool.
And I am told...
Played a risk going the episodic way, which did not work super well for them. I thought it was a cool idea. I liked the way it kind of worked. You have like these missions kind of chunked out for you in the same way you'd have a Telltale game.
I'm told this new Hitman was amazing too, by the way. Like I'm told it's fantastic.
The other thing is these episodes are so damn good, and now here's the whole game. So if you were waiting, if you absolutely hate those like sequential releases, there's a new Hitman game today. If you didn't play any of those episodes, there's a brand new Hitman game for you to play right now.
Sea of Thieves is being developed by Rare, and I forgot that. So they are, in fact, a Microsoft Windows and Xbox One exclusive.
Absolutely. Speaking of exclusives, Horizon Zero Dawn has an expansion dropping.
God damn, that game. That game's probably going to be Game of the Year for me, and I'm really fucking looking forward to playing this.
Because here's the thing. Xbox has their console coming out. Sony said, that's cute. Here's an expansion. One of the greatest fucking games released this year.
Yeah. My only complaint about the Frozen Wilds is I'm hearing, keep in mind this is hearsay, I haven't actually read any of the reviews on it, they're out yet. I'm hearing that it's actually mid-game content, not end-game content, and there's shit that happens at the end I want answers to.
Oh, you're gonna have to wait for Horizon Zero Dawn dose.
Yeah, that's Horizon 1 Dawn. Or Horizon Zero or Horizon Zero Dune.
Stupid. I like it. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this. I'll probably be picking this up this week. For PC, PS4, and Xbox One, a game that's kind of baffling for me, Need for Speed Payback. Now, I'm not baffled that this game exists. I actually think this game looks really fun. Need for Speed has always been like my guilty pleasure franchise. I tend to like a lot of the sim racers, and when I'm not playing a sim racer game, I go the complete opposite direction and play a Need for Speed game, mainly because I know I'm not going to get a Burnout.
I was about to say, Burnout. The Burnout franchise has ruined any of that stuff for me.
Burnout was the greatest, but you have to remember a lot of the Burnout team now works on Need for Speed.
Yeah, but my allure to Burnout wasn't the actual racing. It was always just the crash mode.
This game has some good looking crashes in it.
Yes, but the game isn't revolving around that.
Is that at this time, at the time of us recording this show, you can't buy this game on Amazon. Which is so weird.
That's happened a couple times. There is a reason for it, and I don't know what it is. Not to be doing all this research last
EA Origin store, or from GameStop or Target or Walmart.
Let me see what I can find here.
It's just weird. That's the only thing. I do want to take a look at this. I might talk about it at some point in the future. We'll see. If you need a 3DS game, coming out this week is Mario Party: The Top 100. Which is a new Mario Party game, sort of.
It's like a greatest hits album.
Basically, it's a compilation of the 100 best mini games throughout the entirety of the Mario Party series. So from 1 to 11, I believe. How many damn games have there been?
Way too many.
Yeah, this is actually coming out on Friday, not coming out tomorrow. So if you have a 3DS and need something to play with friends, because why the hell would you play a Mario Party game by yourself? That's coming out on Friday. Just showing you how much support the 3DS is getting now that the Switch exists. Football Manager 2018 comes out for PC. It's based on 2017 football's how do you call that, season, whatever they do.
It's another one of those games that we mentioned not because it's popular, but because it has a rabid fucking fan base.
Well, not because it's popular in the States. Overseas, this is going to sell like gangbusters.
By the way, this isn't actually football. This is soccer, correct?
Oh yes. Footsie ball, as us Americans like to call it. Do any of us call it that? I don't know. But it is published by Sega. It's made by Sports Interactive. Scheduled to be released for Windows, Linux. It's on every damn thing.
Every time I see a game reduced for Linux, I always kind of chuckle a little bit. There's a small contingent of like 20,000 people keeping that alive. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, and everybody that buys a goddamn Apple product, Unix, baby, what's up? Also coming out this week, The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion. It's more Sims, more dogs, more cats. Get your cats in you.
Living together. Total anarchy.
Yeah, cats and dogs living together. I don't think I need to describe to anybody what a Sim.
No, I'm losing you there. You're kind of going away. Oh, I've lost you. I've lost you.
And the last thing.
You're gone. You're cutting out. You're dead.
You're cutting out. Fuck you. I've been here the whole time.
All right, I think that wraps things up. I think David's about to die on the internet connection here. I don't know if it's him or mine or whatever it is, but we're just going to go ahead and call it here because that was the last of the new releases. This has been GamePoints episode 111. Thank you for watching. If you happen to be watching this live, we do stream this show every Monday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at Twitch TV/GamePoints. We do try to involve the chat whenever we can. We want you to join the conversation with whatever questions, comments, concerns, or hell, if we've missed a story you want to talk about it, go ahead and pop it right in there. But if you can't watch us live, please tune into our YouTube page. Just type in GamePoints one word. We should pop right up. Regardless of where you watch us, like, comment, subscribe, dislike. Just let us know what you think. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at GamePoints PC. You can follow myself, Stephen Brown, at CapitalistPig21, and you can follow David Smith over there at palshife_Satori. This has been Game Points. Until next Monday, we're out of here.